I'm attempting to get the highest FPS possible and beat all the other YouTubers' FPS records. But there's a problem. If I want to beat all of the other YouTubers' FPS records, I need a beast of a gaming PC. Oh, right. And that's not happening. So instead, I'm going to use my vast computer science knowledge, every possible operating system optimization, every Minecraft performance mod ever, and squeeze every little bit of power from my very own computer. But what are the specs of my current PC? Well, I currently own a 3060 Ti, an i5-10400F, and 32GB of RAM, which is a pretty good computer, but how much FPS can it get in plain vanilla Minecraft with no mods and no optimizations? Well, it looks like I'm running at an incredible 59 FPS.
What the f-
Hold on a minute. Okay, now that's more like it. Now trust me, 59 FPS is a rough starting point, but in the future, with all the optimizations, I should get some pretty high frames, and maybe even you will too. Foreshadowing. So in normal vanilla Minecraft, you can't really do much to get higher FPS, but with the introduction of mods, we can get some pretty nice frames. But which mods do I have to use? Well, you're most likely thinking of a mod named Optifine, but what if I told you that Optifine is absolutely terrible? For the newer versions anyway. For the later versions of Minecraft, there's a mod named Sodium, which can be paired with a bunch of other optimization mods with similar names to get the highest FPS possible. Sodium, lithium, phosphor. Wait, hold on a second. I see the trend. So with the new mods in place, the FPS increases to around 1000 FPS, which is already a 2000% increase, but this is only the start. Because I found a useful website which contains all of the best mods for FPS increase. So I found this mod page and I was going to download all the performance mods for 1.19, except for the fact that it only goes up to 1.17. So I'm going to have to find all of the newer versions and download them all. Wish me luck. Okay, did you really think I was gonna make a whole montage of me downloading mods? Well, no, I wasn't. But anyway, I got access to an FPS mod pack for 1.19.2 that contains the most optimized mods for the version. And just by using it, I get 2500 FPS, which is already a 5000% increase from our starting FPS. But there's something else that can increase the FPS even more, without changing any mods. And that's just by using a specialized client named Feather Client. Feather Client helps you get more FPS, so by adding the mods to Feather Client and messing around with the setting, the FPS increases to 3000 FPS. But did you know that you can actually double your FPS right now with one little trick? Well, if you buy the Itzo or Feather Cape, your FPS doubles, ping goes down to 0, CPS increases by 150, become the best PvPer in both versions, and you look super drippy. Links down below. So 1.19 happens to be a really unoptimized version of Minecraft, and it makes sense, because the older Minecraft gets, the more updates it has, meaning there are more things in the game, which makes it harder to run. You can usually see this when swapping from 1.8 to 1.19, and Minecraft also happens to be single-threaded, which lowers the FPS even more, so it only makes sense to go back to the older versions of the game. So after doing some research and personal testing, I found that the version 1.12.2, 1.8.9 and 1.7.10 are the most optimal for FPS. Which is pretty funny because even the oldest version of Minecraft gets less FPS than the newer versions, and there's only 2 blocks. So 1.12.2 gets 2000 FPS with no mods, and with the addition of mods we can get 3000 FPS. Now that's pretty good, but it's time to move on to my favorite version of the game, 1.8.9. For countless years I've been perfecting my mod library, finding the greatest mods to join me on the journey, and on this day, I finally get to put my mod library to the test. So we have Optifine, Entity Culling, Patcher, Crash Patch, Hit Delay Fix, Modding Key Binding, Memory Fix, Legacy Vanilla Fix, Mouse Delay Fix, Text Fix, and Phone Fix. And with all of these mods running with the best config, we get 4000 FPS. So 1.8.9 is definitely better than 1.12.2, but 1.7.10 with no mods gives 3500 FPS, and with some performance mods included, we get 5000 FPS. So 1.7.10 is definitely the best for the highest FPS, but there aren't really many servers that use it anymore apart from minemen.club, so if you wanted to play for compatibility, 1.8.9 is definitely the best. But now is the fun part. The operating system optimizations. So there are hundreds of optimizations we can do, but the main ones consist of changing Minecraft's priority, which you can easily do by going into Task Manager, looking for javaw.exe and setting the priority to real time. We can also turn off background apps in Windows settings, and we can even disable my wallpaper because apparently that helps. But that's not all. If we also disable all of the apps in the background, such as Chrome, OBS, my antivirus and my microphone software, we are left with a decently optimized Windows. But there's one more little trick which we can use to get an even higher FPS boost. and that's by downloading an overclocking software such as MSI Afterburner. By overclocking my graphics card, it's going to make my game run slightly faster and should provide us with a little bit more of extra FPS. So now by using 1.7.10 with all of the FPS mods, jumping into the void, enabling an X-ray texture pack, disabling all in-game cycles and lowering the resolution to the lowest possible, we get 8,000 FPS, which is very close to the world record. But what if I told you, this is only the start, we can do even better. So for the past 3 months, I've been researching the web far and wide, finding all of the best optimizations I could possibly find, and compiling them into a program that even you can use. So the programs contain over 200 optimizations that help with latency, FPS and ping, and on average, the FPS usually increases by around 60%. And it also has some other cool options in here too. You can join the Discord down below or check out the website in the description, but just by using Expedite, my FPS increases by a lot. So I'm going to run the optimizer by clicking the optimize button in the program right here, and this should completely optimize my operating system for Minecraft. And once my PC's been restarted and Minecraft has opened, I'm going to go ahead and click the FPS button right here, and that should completely optimize Windows and my game. So after restarting my PC and clicking the FPS button, my FPS reaches, drumroll please, 11,000 FPS. So we finally reached the goal of beating all the other YouTubers' FPS, but I have some pretty crazy tricks up my sleeve that can allow us to technically get some even crazier FPS. I'm gonna reprogram Minecraft. So I firstly got the OpenGL engine and added an FPS counter, and this gets us to 26,000 FPS. But there is something even crazier to get even higher FPS. If you download a software called Cheat Engine, which I don't actually recommend doing because it can get you banned in some games, you can hook it to javaw.exe, and if you change the speed of it, it tricks the in-game FPS timer, and whoa, look at that, 100,000 FPS.